All right, greetings everybody, and welcome to a initial judgment video where we are going to be taking a look at Kitone, or Kitone, depending on how you pronounce her. I'm just going to say both because hopefully I make everybody happy. Probably not, but try. So today we have this lineup. We're going to be going against the classic and still quite very strong in the JP meta, good old Helena, Vivi, and Raph combination, which, yes, as I want to say, is very still relevant in the conversation. And hey, guess what? Just because of the recent updates, no more Esper troubles about trying to set up these teams. And as you can see, we are pretty strong against strike resistance with this current party. You can get an idea for roughly the resistances that we are running, and you can get a good idea for our new character and what her stats look like. Just going to show this off really quickly. Feel free to pause if you'd like to take a more in-depth look about what this character looks like. And we are bringing along, of course, the good old Bridal Alaya character, who is still very relevant, but looks to be in good combination with our character. And with that being said, let's take a look at what the performance looks like. And shout outs to the fact that, we will be comparing this against Shadow Links to figure out which is the better 70 cost if you were going to go for one, since both characters are coming out roughly the same time. Both are on a really, similar style. Hey, guess what? This is how much damage, or this is how much damage it would cost to a theoretical wallet. Uh-oh. That usually doesn't happen in the middle of my apologies. All right, we have cast that ability. We're just going to move characters into certain spots. Fortunately, this map is a little map, but will persist. So let's get these characters onto their correct sides. Vivi needs to run all the way over here, but exercise is good for you, or at least so here. And Kitone also just particularly pretty fast. And here's the thing, so what are we going to start with in this video? Kitone has a bunch of different skills, all of them that are really good and that you do effectively cast over time. So I think we're going to start off by casting her barrier one, just so we can see what kind of immunity we have against physical and magical attacks. Here we go. And we are focusing her more on a just overall general strike team, because strike VCs are particularly pretty nice, pretty powerful, and pretty good overall. So I want to combine them together. As soon as we get through the billion enemies getting their turn. All right. Now, without too much other buffing or anything like that, I do kind of want to show what this looks like with her being against someone like Bridal Alaya. As you can see, she's not particularly having the highest amount of AoE resistance or single target resistance. Her HP is generally good, and she has about 20 defense with the current build that we see on the friend build, for lack of a better word. But you can see that we are getting a good amount of physical protection here. And again, 70% is the key to remember with this character, since that's when her immortal spirit. If you can potentially get her HP just slightly below 70%, that skill is gone and she can die immediately. So we're unfortunately going to be a little mean here. We're just going to take a swing at her right now. And for people who are curious there, her the CT down from Bridal Alaya did actually trigger. And you may be wondering, well, why is that? Well, the friend unit this time around does not have that support skill set up. I'm not entirely sure why they opted to go that way, but it is one of the things to note for this video. So let's go check out that limit burst. And as you can see, even though with the Dream Enhancement skill potentially pushing a lot towards this character, being reduced in the amount of magic damage she's taking, Helena is still capable of dealing a lot. Now, in the normal case, it would actually be pretty good for Kitone because this much damage would potentially be triggered. You'd go almost or hopefully 2-0 and survive at 1 HP and then be able to heal back up. But as you can see, not slouching in how much damage we can do. Even if we take a look here, okay, a little bit less, but as a tank, you would kind of expect this anyway. Still dealing a pretty high amount of damage. Last but not least, you look at Vivi here. Again, good. Obviously, Helena does have a slight advantage with the element being in her favor. So that is something to consider when thinking about how good this character is. All right, so Vivi, if you could just go out. And now that we've gotten our CT back, so next thing we want to probably cast is essentially her skill that fires her secondary attack off, as well as her HP regeneration. So we're going to do that. We're going to cast that now. We're going to pass a bunch of turns, waiting until we can get back around here. Might actually even be good just to get Vivi over here to smash our opponents with a hammer. Thank you, Vivi. That's going to make life just a little bit. Now, the ability that I do want to cast next is to do, specifically with reducing strike resistance, because one of the things that I have been particularly interested in the character is just dealing copious amounts of strike damage, much in the same way as FFBE back when spirit chaining was a thing. Those of you who are as old as I am, it's a neat idea. Strike is one of the damage types that just doesn't get as much attention as some other damage types. So you look here and you can see the type of damage that she is capable of doing, already particularly pretty good. But let's cast this ability, which is essentially going to, wow, just kill Helena outright. All right, that's slightly dangerous. Let's just flip the camera. We're going to go over here and we're going to... As you can see, that secondary hit there being very, 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 very powerful. Once you compound the amount of VCs that are out there with the amount of human killer available, in combination with just a damage type that not necessarily everyone is protected against, it is a potential lot of healing for her to heal back up. And the secondary hit can also be very, very powerful too. So yeah, we're just going to have to pass a bunch of turns. Little concerned about Bridal Alaya, but we'll probably be fine. Probably. Again, just to show off, we are capable of doing a lot of damage, but moving on. Alright, Kitone's turn. We have our Limit Burst. Let's see how much damage it's doing to Bridal Alaya. We've reduced strike resistance on this character, so if we look right in here, strike resistance is down to 11%, and if here, down to 18. And on our last character here, down to, well, actually, okay, bad example there. But yeah, the DPS that is quite capable from this Limit Burst. I mean, you're also getting a couple other things. You're getting haste, obviously, which makes Kitone just faster overall. You're looking at all of her attacks being stronger now. And you can see that even through tanks, this will also work for other strike-based characters on the same team to get a similar style advantage. You have chaining capabilities. You have a lot of stuff available. I do think, though, that overall, while Kitone's new version looks pretty impressive, there are probably times where the overall, like, everything just isn't going to jive together, where, you know, she gets hit once, essentially, by a strong attack that takes her below 70%, but not necessarily to dead, and then another unit could follow up and just straight outright kill her. It's one of those things where when it works, I think it's going to be really annoying, and especially for, if you look at manual style versus auto, even though, let's be honest, most everything nowadays is automatic in terms of rotation and whatnot, I do think that it is something. So let's finish this off by just letting our team go nuts, showing off the limit burst, although at a generally quick speed. I have to say that I do like this character for a lot of different reasons. I think that she is quite powerful and a very independent character that she can do on her own quite well, but potentially can also really work well with other characters too. I think that for obviously the obviousness of the fact of just putting her in combination with any strike character for any limited and will probably be where she shines the most. Without seeing how people use her over the next little bit, it's hard to say that I'm going to be overly too enthusiastic about going quite so early to say that it's absolutely worth, buy, especially with whatever the February 1st character will be, possibly Dario. We'll have to just wait and see. But there's a look. Hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully it was informative and I did not miss anything. But if I did miss anything, of course, apologies. We do try, and by we, I mean the royal we. We do try and get all of this into a single video, and this time trying to also keep at a relative good pace. So thanks so much for watching. Take care. Later.